Alright, so welcome to mi casa. Don't have a lot of battery left, so we'll see how it works out. So here is the finished product. Have our little guard dog. Alrighty, so here we go. Here's front entryway. If you remember, this is where the aquarium was, and then this is where the fire was. And again, it was an electrical fire. We don't know if it happened from the plug or the cord that was going to the fish aquarium, but it happened somewhere in there. Pretty much from here to about here was burned up, and then it was smoke damage throughout the rest of the house. So we took out all the rock from the 1970s and stuff like that, and so that kind of left this a void. The guy that did all the trim work and the finish work, we have cedar accent stuff, he's the one that actually made this hall tree, and it turned out pretty good. So we went with LEDs for all the lights. It's just a hall closet. They put a light in, so that makes it kind of nice. The trim is like it picks up alright. You can kind of tell. It's a gray and almost a teal bluish color. So we'll come into the living room. So again, we got LED lights all the way around. Ceiling fan. Ceiling fan's kind of neat. Has a remote. 6 different settings. It has this little setting here. It's like a whoosh effect or something like that. And basically it speeds the fan up and it slows it down to try to mimic wind. Alrighty. Alright, so that's the fan. The beam is wrapped in cedar. There's an actual steel beam that goes all the way across, and they just wrap it in cedar. But we have the rear speakers for surround sound. Have that wired in. So I got the new couch. These are the electric ones, kind of cool. I was kind of hesitant on getting the electric fold out or kick out or whatever, but where we bought this was a friend of ours. He's at Galleria Furniture here in Oklahoma City. Nice store. They gave us a pretty good deal. But the way he explained it was car windows, they go up and down all the time, and you have to replace them every now and then, but for the most part you don't have much issue. So anyways, so here is center console, and this is kind of our electronic drawer. But we have a surge protector that has a circuit breaker thing on there, so if anything shorts out, it'll short that circuit out and kill electricity. And so over here we have the 75-inch Sony big screen TV, LED 4K, so it works out really nice. We have and y'all saw the entertainment center on the others, where we have these where the front doors fold out, and then like you can see up in there, and then that automatically turns on the fans whenever it gets too hot, and then once it cools down enough, it turns off. So, and we just had these dryer sheets, since these were since this was salvaged from the fire, just to help with soak up any of the smell and stuff like that. Okay. So we went to French doors instead of the sliding glass door. It's nice. Here's the fireplace. This is again wrapped in cedar, and they kind of trimmed this out. We didn't have a mantle before, so this is really nice to have that mantle on there. Now this is really cool. A lady from my wife's work made this for her. And the neat thing is that she only knew that we had Dakota, Winter, and Binks. Dog, and a cat. And she knew that Winter was Missy's little baby. But she didn't know, she'd never seen the pictures of them or anything like that. Dakota had blue eyes. Winter was all white. And then Binks, he was like a brown striped kind of colored cat. So with not knowing what the animals looked like, she did pretty good. And this is old barnwood. You can see the detail in that. But yeah, really cool. So it's a wraparound fireplace. Here's the cross wall. Works out nice. So we got the new light fixture up here, and the table was salvaged from the fire. We still need to redo the seats, and one reason why we hadn't redone the seats is because we're not sure what kind of color or fabric we want to go with. So if you look, we have this little ledge here. Before, straight down is where our countertop ended. So I guess that's about right here. So the kitchen actually went from here. So it went from here to about here. So we kicked this countertop out a little bit and then added the little bar on top. We went with quartz. Then we have backsplash with a few outlets, which is great. More outlets. One kind of complaint that we had that we don't really like is this is the disposal. So you have to reach all the way over here, but I don't know, maybe it's a safety thing, so you can't actually turn it on with your hand in the disposal. I don't know. But anyways. All the windows, they're all the low E argon filled windows, because that's what we had before, except for I think one other window. So they had to replace all of those. Here's the dishwasher, which is pretty neat. Whenever it's done with the load, it kicks out like this and lets all the hot air out and the steam and all that, so it helps in drying. The sink is, we went with one big sink so my wife can wash the dog, and we can, you know, the big pots and pans and stuff, it's easier to wash and all that stuff. So got the backsplash. Again, we have lots of outlets, which is great, because before we only had 1, 2, maybe 4 outlets or so, something like that. But we have this little Lazy Susan deal. That's neat. And it spins all the way around. This would be for your pans, stuff like that. Microwave. Microwave's cool. It has microwave, power grill, and microwave. But basically, if you look up in here, there's this little grill up here. So if you're making pizza, or maybe you have some leftover French fries or some chicken or something like that, you can use that grill and it'll help crispen it up and not make it as soggy. Here's the oven. Oven's awesome. Look here. There's a upper single oven, lower single oven. And what that is you have this right here. So you can make a casserole or something. And then down there you can make a cake. They have two different, there's two different settings. So you could have 350 degrees on top and 400 degrees on the bottom or whatever. Or if it's really big, you can take this center tray out and it'll be just one big oven. So kind of neat. We have some under lights, and these are just like battery powered, but honestly we don't really use them all that much. There's also one under here, right there, and there's one way under here. So pretty neat, except we forget to turn it off and then the battery dies. Refrigerator. It's one of the Flex Zone. By the way, all the appliances are the black stainless steel and all by Samsung. We did pay a little bit extra. Well, we did pay a lot extra out of our pocket to upgrade to this, because we figured whenever we move, we're going to be taking the appliances with us. So here's the refrigerator. It is a mess because, again, maybe it's like an episode of Cribs. This is what we have, you know. But anyway, so it's just kind of your typical refrigerator. You got your ice, water. Down here is a freezer and a freezer. My wife didn't like the pull-out freezers. It seems like everybody's going with, which I don't blame her. I don't like it either. But what's neat is that you can turn this one into a refrigerator, or you can leave it as a freezer. So pretty neat. Here's the washer and the dryer, and we have it on the time light. Since this is way back in the corner, it's easy to forget to turn off the light, and you don't realize it until you're getting ready to go to bed, and then it's around the corner and yada yada. So whenever we did some rearranging, the refrigerator used to be here, and then so we wound up moving the refrigerator over here, and we lost a lot of counter space and stuff. But since we had to rerun the line for the water here, I had them rerun the line to there. So anyway, since I had to run the water line to the refrigerator, we just had them run the water line to the dryer. And you may be thinking, why do you need water for a dryer? This has a steam function, so it will squirt out a little bit of water and steam it up so you can get wrinkles out and that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really deal with it that much. So that's that. Now, here's the pantry that we added on. Okay, so if you remember in the garage, this is where I had the air compressor, and then back up against this wall and over here we had paint and storage and stuff like that. So we have no room in the kitchen if we didn't have this. So it served a couple of purposes. One, we have a nice pantry. Whenever we go to sell the house, it will add value to the house. Most people that are looking for houses aren't really looking for stuff I would look for, like garage space. They're looking for pantry space and all that. So this worked out really, really good. It wasn't much extra to convert that over. Okay, so here's the hallway. If you remember, we had little pillars that went all the way down, and there's like 2 pillars right here. So we got rid of those pillars, and it opened this up a lot, and it just makes the room flow in. It looks a lot bigger. And then we drywalled this in. Got a couple lights, because once we drywalled this in, it got really dark. Alright, so here's my oldest son's room. Brock, he likes Batman. So he did his room in the kind of the Batman theme. Not much to show here. This used to be my office. I had my office desk right here, and then my wife, she had her like craft table right here, and we had some file cabinets over here and stuff. So the boys are the boys are 10 and 11. Our oldest one's about to turn 12, so we figured they're old enough to, you know, kind of get out and get their own room. So we had to come up with a space for the office. So I'll get to you with that here in just a second. But anyway, so Brock took my office and craft room. And then here is my youngest son's room, Bryce. He did his in Superman. So as you can see, this is quite a bit bigger room, because at the time they were both sleeping in here, and it was just a bit bigger. But alright, so back out to the hall. We have Nature Calls. Oh, Arrow of Light for the two boys whenever they graduated. I guess you'd call it graduate, but go from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts. So here is the bathroom, and y'all have seen several videos, I guess, where I've made the handles and that kind of stuff, but in case you didn't see it, here we go. So this is our Hunter's theme, like Hunter's Lodge kind of thing. That was my old pellet gun whenever I was a kid. It didn't survive the fire, but I use these little horseshoe nails. And then got the camo curtain. And that. And so the insert, we put a bathroom, like bathtub insert, and we used to have a fairly decent sized window right here, and whenever we did the insert, then obviously it wouldn't work. So they were going to cover up the whole thing, or we had the option of having the little bricks at the top, and we definitely wanted the little bricks at the top to let in the extra light, and that worked out really well. So here's Bryce's gun. We did a video on that a long time ago, because it was too big for him, and so we shortened it up. But it didn't survive the fire either. It just didn't work. Here, let's do that for all them safety sallies, you know. Alright, and we have a little 3D picture. I don't know how well this will pick up. This is a 3D picture. So it's pretty neat. Alright, back out into the hallway. Family pictures. Friends. So here's the closet. This closet was a linen closet, but whenever we had them do it, we made it a little bit littler and put this in here so we can store the broom and the mop and the vacuum cleaner. I made this little insert for the attachments for the vacuum cleaner. Alright, so enter the bedroom. This is the bedroom. This survived the fire as well. So the bed, this nightstand, and that dresser all survived the fire. Just a lot of soot and stuff on there, so the restoration team, they got it and cleaned it up really good. So now what the biggest, well, I guess one of the biggest changes in here was the door used to be here, and we had them kick it over so we can put my desk here. Since I work out of the house 3 days a week, or since I work in the office, this is my office, twice a week, sometimes 3 days a week, and I'm out in the field 3 days a week, sometimes 2 days a week, I had to have a spot. So this is our designated spot. We have my work computer and then our personal computer, and then here's my wife's little craft desk. And so whenever they moved this over, it made this closet feel a whole lot bigger. It's still the same size, but before, whenever you'd walk in, you'd have stuff on this side and stuff on this side. But now it seems like everything is just all over there. It just feels a lot bigger. So here's the closet. And it is a pretty decent sized closet. So my wife, she got her shoe storage system. She likes shoes. Little hat rack, belt rack. Alrighty. And we got the security system back up. So we got the security system up, and we can just change inputs to go from watching TV to watching Fire Stick to watching surveillance. And you can just go into any one of these and make them bigger. So, and then if you wanted to look at something, you can just go to playback. You can pick whatever day you want. So we'll do those is, yeah. You can do that. You can fast forward. I think around 4:30 yesterday morning there's a bunny. Yeah. So there's a bunny in the backyard. You can speed it up. Voila. And then it automatically turns to daylight. So you have a night vision and then just your regular vision or whatever. So, and then if you want to look at 2 different cameras at once, you can do that at the same time. So, really neat system. Then you're back to your normal. Alright. And so then here's so here we're gonna have our lateral file. It didn't come in time. We were really hoping for that. And then we have our wireless printer that will sit on top of the lateral file. And then here's in the bathroom. It's just all been updated. We had a drop ceiling that came down and got rid of the drop ceiling, and it makes this feel a lot bigger. And we're doing kind of a Paris theme kind of thing. Huh. That's correct. So now this was your little shower closet. It's basically a single shower, and I'm not a very big, huge person. I'm, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. And 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. And whenever I'd go to wash my hair, my elbows were out. My elbows would kind of touch the walls and stuff. We had like a linen closet that was here, and we got rid of that, put in the walk-in shower. We had to pay extra to move the plumbing out, but I don't think that was that big a deal. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Again, we got the toilets for number 1 and number 2. So I hear there's mixed feelings on that. Sometimes you can't just replace the individual part, you have to replace the whole thing. So I don't know, we'll find out how that goes in the future. Hopefully we won't have to find out. Anyway, so that kind of concludes our house fire adventures, if you want to call it that. I appreciate all the thoughts and prayers and the comments and all that stuff. It means a lot to us, and just wanted to kind of show you around and let you know we're back on our feet, and life is good. We're back to the same old. So I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all comment, rate, and we'll catch you later. See ya.